This is Center Stage, putting your firm in the spotlight by highlighting business owners and other industry experts to help take your firm to the next level. Hey everyone, and welcome to Center Stage. I'm your host, John Henson, and this week is a very special episode because we're at episode number 100.
Woo! Yeah, let's go.
So exciting.
So yeah, for such a big milestone, figured we needed to do something at least a little bit special. And so this week I have not one, not two, but three special guests from some company called Spotlight Branding. I don't know, maybe you've heard of them. But they are three of our account managers. They interact with people like you on a daily basis, and they have joined us to just kind of share some of their experiences and just little nuggets of knowledge and inspiration that they think that you should be aware of and know about. So I have Sophia Prestilla, Anna Casey, and Macy Holden. Thank you all for doing this.
Yes,
We could not be more excited. Hit us with the questions. We're here to blow everyone's minds. Like, let's go.
Boom. We are ready.
All right. Well, first of all, before we do that, I like to just let everyone introduce themselves, give a little context for, who they are, why they're here. So we'll start with Anna, since you're the longest tenured, and then we'll go to Macy and then Sophia. So, who are you? Where are you from? How long you been here? What do you enjoy? All that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. My name is Anna Casey. I have been working at Spotlight Branding for almost 5 years now. I can finally say that. It'll be 5 years on November 6th. Love what I do. Love Spotlight Branding. Love my coworkers. So very, very happy and still very blessed and fortunate to be a part of this company. We are a military family. My husband is an infantry officer in the Army, and so we tend to move around a lot. And so I work remotely. Right now, we live in Clarksville, Tennessee, stationed at the 101st Airborne Division. And I have two very large dogs and a very large belly because I'm about to give birth to my first child. But yeah, that is pretty much me in a nutshell.
That was a great segue, Anna, by the way. And a very large belly, because I'm about to pop.
Yeah. Bigger and bigger every day.
All right, cool. Macy.
I'm Macy Holden. I'm also an account manager here, if you didn't gather that. I've been with Spotlight for about a year and a half, and I'm from North Carolina. I'm from the mountains, so Asheville area. But if you can't tell by my lovely voice, I was at an App State football game this past weekend. Rolling ears, and love the Tar Heel State and getting to be a part of this team. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Sophia.
Hello, I am one of three Muska Queens here at Spotlight Branding. Literally work with the best people ever. Like,
Not
if y'all
to be
need
confused
sparkles,
with the Musketeers. We are the Muska Queens.
Yes, we set the standard. They copied us, first of all. But yes, I am originally from New York City, so the hustle has been in my blood since the beginning. But with that being said, hustle cannot be left alone by itself. You need to couple that with positivity, with sparkles, with slay factor, and that is what you get here at Spotlight Branding. So y'all are definitely all of our clients for sure have the best team behind them, and we sincerely try our best to make sure their branding goes forward, give them the best opinion and decision on what they should do for their branding and content marketing. So you have got queens behind you for sure. And I think too, as far as what our personal preferences are and all of the unique experiences that we bring to the table, whether we're from New York City, whether we move around, whether we are from originally North Carolina, there's just so much uniqueness and just amazingness and sparkles here that I don't know, it's just beautiful. That is all I have to say.
Well, I mean, I think that's it. I think that's the end of the show. I think you pretty much summed it up already.
Haven't even gotten started.
So, all right. So let's jump in a little bit here. obviously we deal mostly with lawyers, some financial pros, and one of the big things is that it's often a lot of really heavy material, a lot of really heavy subject matter. And so it's really easy to kind of get bogged down in negativity, whether it is that subject matter, or even if you're just busy, you have a humongous calendar, a lot of things going on, you're just really stressed and it just never seems to end. But you three, I think have really done a great job around the office of just creating a really positive environment. And, even though obviously we're not a law firm or anything like that, I think there are things that can translate over because we're still dealing with the same subject matter. We're still just as busy and things like that. So what have you all done to just kind of put that focus on positivity around the office?
Yes.
We're gonna
Um,
let Sophia answer this
Yeah.
question.
She's the
What?
queen
No.
of this.
Positivity queen.
Sophia being the most energetic and positive, never would have guessed that.
Not her.
Honestly, I feel like my daily mantra for this, if you will, like my daily motivation for this is like life is too short to be like dedicating most or all of your energy to negativity. Absolutely not. And the thing is, tomorrow is not even guaranteed. So you mean to tell me that you're going to spend what could be like your last day, like that of, just like, I don't know, giving it to negativity? Absolutely not. No. And what's crazy about humans, don't know if you knew this, guys, but we literally feed off each other. So if you are putting positivity in the world, it is going to come right back to you and everyone's going to be happy. And I feel like everybody should think about that whenever they start their day, whenever they deal with people. So that is like number one. And to that end, that is put into action via our Queens Only chat, which is one of the biggest sources of light on this freaking planet, because we always start with like, hello, Queens, good morning. It is going to be a bomb day. This is where my inbox started. We just gonna get it. Let's get this bread. And then it doesn't stop there. Like positivity isn't just like a one-time shot. We check in throughout the day. If we're done with our task list, what can I help you with? Is there something I can do for you? Do you need sparkles? I got you, boo. So it is a constant thing. And I think having supportive teammates who also feel the vibe is important as well. That is all I have to say.
Love it.
Yeah. And just adding on to that, like our culture at Spotlight Branding is very positive. And I think that's a nod to Mark and leadership. We've really tried to do a good job at hiring people who are good fits, who are going to be, positive, who aren't going to be gossiping. We have a no BS policy in the office. And I think that goes a really long way because we're not getting distracted from our work by having to worry about, Sally over there talking about me. It really does make a big difference when the culture of your company emphasizes that, I think. And so that has been awesome. We're all friends here. When Sophia joined the team, I mean, I feel like we were already a positive company, but like when Sophia joined the team,
We were
I
here
never
and now we're
knew.
here.
like
I
we
never
didn't
knew
even
such positivity could exist before Sophia joined.
You're welcome.
like y'all, she's holding a sparkle gun that shoots money.
Yes.
It is bedazzled. She's wearing a
Amazing.
bedazzled jacket. She does not miss. And I've already shared with Sophia, so I hope this is okay to share here. But genuinely, I when I first met Sophia, I was like, there is no way that somebody can be this positive, genuinely 365 days out of the year. But I'm here to tell you that this woman is like the positivity queen, guru. Like we have team conflicts in, like our weekly meeting, or a client says something that really gets her down. Like she gets down, but she bounces back. And so anyways, this is all very genuine. And so I hope everyone can see that as well. But yeah, positivity in our culture has been huge.
Awesome.
And
Well said.
bouncing off of Anna's bounce off, I feel like I'm kind of opposite of Sophia, and Sophia's natural instinct is to be super positive and kind of look at things through, I don't know, the happy lens, and I struggle with that. And that's one of my faults. And I know we have a lot of conversations here between the three of us because I wish my brain worked like hers. So one of the biggest things that has really helped me, and I feel like can help so many other professionals, is just realizing that you have to remove yourself from the situation. So I always look at something, can something be done right now about it? Okay, great, get that done. If you can't do anything about it now, don't let it waste your energy. There are things that sit on our plates, unfortunately, that are out of our control. And I know that's the same thing across the board with a lot of other professionals. So give it the attention that you can and move on, because letting it suck your time and your energy only takes away from being able to put that in other areas. And I would say that's something that's really helped me with kind of creating that positivity, because I wish I was built like Sophia, but I'm not.
Yeah. And I mean, and we've talked on the show before about the Clifton Strengths Assessment, and like my lowest rated strength is positivity. Doesn't mean I'm inherently a negative person, but I mean, compared to Sophia, I'm like the most negative person. But another thing that we've talked about though is kind of this shift from, it used to be, you knew what your strengths and weaknesses were, so you spent more time trying to improve on your weaknesses, and so your strengths just kind of stayed at like a 7. And you tried, if your weaknesses were at a 3, you tried to bring them up to a 5. And now what we see a lot of is focus on your strengths. If your strengths are at a 7, make them an 8 or a 9, and then surround yourself with people who can make up for your weaknesses. And so this is a great example of how Sophia makes up for maybe me or maybe Macy, who aren't super positive outwardly all the time. And together we can all kind of collectively be a 10. So
yes, there's enough to go around. Faux show.
I'm not going to disagree with that at all. So, so another thing I wanted to ask you guys about, because in a previous life here at Spotlight Branding, I've been in your shoes for the most part. I know how busy things can get, how many tasks can start piling up. So what have you all done to manage your time and your tasks so that even if you do get overwhelmed, it doesn't last a really long time and you don't really fall super far behind?
Yeah. So for us in our role, and I imagine for most professionals or business owners or lawyers or financial advisors or anybody who is client facing, managing an inbox, for us, sort of the key has been putting email in its place. And we used to, John used to be in this role. So it is a constant influx of requests and emails that come in throughout the day. And I'm going to throw a stat out here because I did a little research. I've been listening to some podcasts. So many of you may know Jenna Kutcher. She is a self-made millionaire, business owner, photographer, marketing guru. And on her podcast, she was talking about productivity and some statistics, related to that. Only 2.5% of people can multitask. 2.5%. The rest of the population are monotaskers, meaning that you need a time block. You need to get in the zone on what you're doing, knock out all of those like-minded tasks, take a break, then move on to the next thing. And in our role, we found that, holy crap, if we can put email in its place and start our day off all together, we log on, the 3 of us, and we just say, hey, here's how many emails I'm at. Here's how many emails I'm at. And we go through our inbox from top to bottom. We answer every single email. We address it. And we actually pause our inbox. So pause is a Chrome extension for Gmail that you can basically, you're not stopping emails from coming in, but you're not allowing them to show up in your actual inbox right there. So that just allows you to have that peace of mind that everyone has been addressed in at least one business day. I have all of my tasks from those emails that I can put on my task list and organize. And now that that's taken care of, I can organize my day and I am unleashed into my day, and I don't have to be distracted by as many things that could come up that are easy to take care of in my email, like my email that pop up, but that are really distracting from like the big 3 things that I need to get done or the projects that I really need to get ahead on. So yeah, for us, that has been absolutely incredible. And the fact that we all do it together and cheer each other on, and we literally send each other screenshots of our inbox when we get to inbox 0. And that is how we start every single day. And it has been awesome.
It's hype. I feel like when every single one of us gets done with our inbox, it's like, okay, 5-minute break. We'll grab, coffee, tea, a snack. And it kind of gives us our time to, celebrate what we just got done, but also know that like that chunk of our day is over and we can mentally move on to something else. So it kind of kicks us in gear. But even going off of just, time blocking and putting our email first in the morning, you've got to be selfish with your time. I feel like in any client facing industry, as you were saying, Anna, or in any client facing role, a lot of your time is dedicated to other people, which is fantastic. And that's why a lot of people are in, client facing roles, industries, jobs, because they feed off of the interactions with others. But at the end of the day, you've got to get done what's on your plate and what is going to hold you back. So for us, we don't allow, unless it's, obviously there are exceptions if, we have to launch something or there's, kind of an emergency. We don't allow clients to book calls with us in the morning. And that's simply because, we have to get done what's on our task list and the requests that came through either, through text, email, call. But if you have stuff left on your plate, you don't have the mental capacity to fully give your attention to what's needed in other areas. So this really allows us to not only own our day, so it doesn't control us, but also let us better serve our clients in the afternoon once we have, taken the chance to kind of move all of that stuff off of our plate.
Yes, say it louder for the people in the back. All of that is literally A1. And like, honestly, in conjunction with what they both said, honestly, like, and I feel like this like has been said, like, but as far as like, for me personally, so I am an Enneagram 7, and a like major trait of like 7s is to often be scatterbrained. Mind you, like I love getting stuff done and I'm very organized and detailed, but honestly, what has been one of the keys to my success has been calendar blocking. So not just like blocking time in the morning for your inbox, but literally having a blocked off day. So obviously, like if you are dedicating like the morning to your inbox and then the rest of your day to projects, you are not going to have time for tasks, for requests, for monthly things. Like it's just not going to happen, sis. So what you need to do is make sure that you have the proper amount of time allocated to every single thing that is on your responsibilities list every single day. If you don't get to like this third project, oh well, you're going to do that tomorrow because projects 1 and 2 were the priority today. And as long as you make sure you stick to that like calendar and like that, like those specific blocks for each thing that you need to do that day, you are not going to be as stressed as you were before because you know exactly what you need to do when you need to do it. And that is that. So calendar blocking for the win. Amen.
Yeah. And one of the things that I've noticed, because I've kind of just watched this from afar over the last couple of years, it's a process. I think everyone's minds work a little bit differently. There's so many different tips and hacks and methods that you can try to use to improve your time management and stuff like that. It just kind of depends on what fits with how your brain works. And so it's a process. And I think, as you get more experience in your role, you'll figure out what works for you, maybe what doesn't. I mean, I know Anna, you've been here 5 years. We've tried a bunch of different things. And some worked,
For sure.
some made things worse, some made things better, some then made things better, that the other thing that we thought was really good, worked out. And so, you keep building, you keep learning what works over time. Just the key is just don't stop trying. You always be testing different things and all of that. And so it's always going to be a process. There's probably, look, a year or two from now, we might look back on the things that you're doing right now and be like, God, why were we even doing it this way? This new way is so much more efficient. And so, it's just really a process and just something to always, be mindful of that there are ways to improve. Next question I had, so to kind of build off of that, one thing that I've noticed and kind of seen in a lot of the conversations that I've had with people over the last 100 episodes, naturally, Right. Just a little reminder there. Generally, lawyers, financial people, they're really good executors. But one thing that I've noticed is that when you get into that space where you're running your own firm, you do have that strategic skill set. You're a little bit more analytical, more strategic minded, but what often happens is that strategy and that execution sometimes go to war with each other, and you can kind of get paralyzed and overanalyze a lot of situations and issues and stuff like that. We have a core value here called take action. Can you all kind of speak into what that means and how you kind of stay in that kind of mindset so that you don't get paralyzed and overthink about a particular situation?
Yeah. I'll start us off there because I feel like we see this so much in our projects, especially with clients who are really making decisions regarding their website, their logo. Those two things are really the foundation of your branding. And when people see that, we want them to recognize, oh, that's so and so, and that's their firm. So that's a big deal, and we absolutely recognize that. And our goal is to work with our clients through those obstacles and to talk it through and figure it out. But at the end of the day, we like to call what our clients go through analysis paralysis. And it's this big idea, and things seem so overwhelming that they aren't able to understand that some action is better than no action. And when you care about something so much, you start to nitpick every little thing, and nothing is ever going to be perfect. And from someone who's a perfectionist, I've really had to learn that being done is better than being perfect. So obviously you want to give it the attention and you want to make sure that it's done correctly, but you've just got to get to a point where you feel comfortable and you feel good about moving forward. And that's that. Getting over the hump of, wanting to make sure that things are exactly how you want them, goes so far, because I don't think that people really realize that you hardly ever reach that point. It's, as humans, we are programmed to want to always be better. And by having the mindset of making things perfect or reaching and attaining that, you're never actually going to get anything accomplished. So realizing that you've just got to take it by the horns and just get what you got to get, what you can get done, and leave it at that.
Yeah. And I think, for us, in our projects, we also have our own internal metrics. And so it can be very easy for us to get really down if a client has analysis paralysis, and we're doing everything we can to, send them ideas and make sure, all right, let's at least get your website up, or at least get a landing page up. Like, how can we make improvements? And so for us, that's a constant struggle and a constant opportunity to find loopholes and remind people that, hey, like, done is better than perfect. I'm not gonna name drop. I'm not gonna be one of those people. I have a client. It has been 3 years, and she still does not have 3 or 4. She still does not have a website up because she wants it to be perfect. And yeah. And so you look back and you think, wow, that's 4 years. That is like a whole college experience, a whole high school experience, where you could have been like building your email list. You could have been serving people with really great blogs, but instead you've decided to go back and forth on the header image on your website and your tagline. You know what I mean? And so I think you have to really get past some of that analysis paralysis. And for us, the challenge and the opportunity is, how can we present this in a way that's really positive and exciting, and where we can find loopholes. So yeah.
I love that. I love it. And like, in addition to that, at the end of the day, at least marketing related things aren't necessarily permanent, or at least as permanent as like other important things in life. Like a social media post or a blog article can always be edited, can always be taken down, can always be reposted in a way that is how you want to present it. But at the end of the day, like with that in mind, are you giving your audience value by holding back all of that simply because you weren't okay with one little detail? And I promise you, those people are either not going to notice that detail, are not going to perceive it the way you are, and it's really not that big of a deal. So at the end of the day, your goal should be to give your audience value. That is why you do marketing. That is why you do your services, whether it's legal services, financial services, and details that like in the grand scheme of things are little things that are not going to matter. Why devote so much energy and time to that when you could have, at this point, kind of like Anna said, could have been developing a network of people that you could have sent like a year's worth of newsletters to, that you could have been like growing a social media following, simply because you chose not to give that much time to those things that don't matter at the end of the day. So ain't nobody got time for things that at the end of the day are not going to matter as much. So just post it.
Yeah. And you know, talk about positivity. I mean, if those are the things, if those small details are the only things that are holding you back, you're doing something right. You know, you could have bigger problems, but you know, if these small, tiny details are the what seem like the biggest issues going on in your life right now, you know, at least that's in a weird way, that's a good thing, you know, because, you know, you're not having gigantic fires to put out, but at the same time, like recognize that they're just small details and all of the things that you could be doing to push yourself forward rather than spinning your wheels on things that aren't really big obstacles. So,
And just one more thing that I was
Yeah.
thinking about is that's where calendar blocking can really benefit you, because say you don't have time to edit blogs or web copy or figure out what you want to do with your logo. Dedicate 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes a week and say, okay, here's my time that I'm going to focus on this project. Here's what I'm going to get done. Anything else I'm going to delegate, or I'm going to give the green light. It's beyond me. This is as much as I can give to it. And then I'm going to release and I'm going to let go. And so I think that, you know, we think that these things in our head are so big and we don't even know where to start because it just feels like such a massive thing. But with calendar blocking and time blocking, you allow you dedicate the time that you can, and you at least take that next step. So that's another thing.
Yeah. So, kind of starting to wrap up here. One last question. We kind of hit on it a little bit earlier in talking about, you know, strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that. You know, one of our other core values here is win together. And I think that, you know, in talking with, you know, even people who have moved on to other positions, one of the things they always come back to is just, you know, that sort of win together mentality and environment that we have here. So, you know, in your own words, I mean, why is it so important to have a really supportive team behind you on a day-to-day basis?
Well, the thing is that as much as we all want to believe that we're awesome and perfect, we all fall short. We all have our blind spots, and we all have those things that we need to work on. And when you surround yourself with a team and you're able to recognize each other's strengths and draw on each other's strengths, you are going to go so much further as a team, as a company, than you would ever go by yourself. You can't do it alone. Like we need each other. And as cheesy as it sounds, like it's true. Like we are so much better as a company because we have such a diverse group of people with diverse strengths. And yeah, I think that it's just important to recognize that, you know, at the end of the day, we do need each other, and we are able to serve our clients better and go farther with the mission of our company because we do that. So
Awesome.
I mean, basically keeping going what Anna was saying is, you know, I think a lot of people look at their job on such a small scale, and they think, okay, this is what I need to get done, and this is what I need to do to be successful within my role. But what they don't realize is that although those individual things, like that is their responsibility, at the end of the day, how they perform within their role moves the whole company forward as, you know, as a team. So although it seems like you are kind of on your own when it comes to what you're responsible for, you know, you are all working towards the same goal. And by recognizing that and appreciating and supporting the people that you're working with, you actually reach those goals a lot sooner. And you actually a lot of times exceed them. So I think kind of, looking at it as more of a big picture thing, like, some people don't care as much about those work relationships or, the team environment. And they care more about meeting goals and the success. But those are the things that actually help you do that. So I don't know, just recognizing the importance there as well.
I love
Yeah.
that. And in general, like, I love this question so much because the minute you recognize that everybody has unique gifts, like that just opens the door to so much more. Like, at least speaking for me, like everyone's just like, positivity is so great and whatever, like, okay, I guess like that's my gift, but I cannot do things the way that Macy can do them, the way that Anna can do them, the way that you, the wizard John, can do them, because I just simply don't have them. So why would I miss out on that huge opportunity to like move my role forward, to move my clients forward, to just do everything better? Like, if just because I thought that my way of doing things was the best way, or I thought my gifts were better, like that literally makes no sense. And so at the end of the day, like, if you are leaning on the gifts of those around you, you develop trust, you accomplish your goals quicker, you kindle that slay factor camaraderie that the Muska Queens have developed. And at the end of the day, you have fun. And if you're going to have to go to work pretty much for like a majority of your life, if you're gonna have to go to work every day, why not have a supportive team around you that is going to make your everyday life enjoyable, that's going to prevent burnout, and that is going to help you reach your goals quicker? Like, that is literally the only way. That is literally the only way.
Amen, sister.
Yeah.
We can end that.
Awesome.
We can cut it here, John.
Yeah, I mean, I think,
Kidding.
and really, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. Yeah, I don't have any other questions. I think that we've covered it all here. This has been really great. I do have one final question. I want to give you three the full center stage experience that everyone else gets. And so the final question that I ask everyone here is, if you had one final piece of advice for our listeners, what would it be? We'll start with Anna.
Yeah. So if I could share one thing with anyone listening, especially, business owners, it's like hiring the right people and people who are going to be contributing positively to your team, not just with their work ethic and with their skills, but with their demeanor and with their interpersonal skills. That is worth its weight in gold. You slow to hire, quick to fire. Like, the people that are on your team it means everything. It makes all of the difference. As somebody who has been a part of this amazing work culture for several years, like I just can attest to my own level of happiness and contentment in my job because of the people that I'm surrounded with. My life is so much better, and our whole team is able to do so much more because this is such a supportive environment. So if you have someone negative in your company, realize that like you need to get rid of them because it's holding you back way more than you think it might. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. There are people out there who will contribute positively and who are going to be a great asset to your team. So don't stop looking.
Awesome. Macy.
Yeah. I would say the biggest thing that I think any professional forgets is the importance to be human. At the basis of all trust is, just being able to kind of strip away those barriers and, just be human with other people. And that, in any job where you are, the foundation is relationships. That's what you have to do. And I think people are truly afraid to be that way because they think that others will view them as less professional. But really, you are just going to, help others reach their goals, and you are going to reach your goals so much faster because, you're able to see each other on kind of the same level. And you don't have to have this facade. And, I just think that it makes life so much more fun. I have this sign in my office that says, make it fun. Because although we're all here to do our jobs, and, for us to help our clients, at the end of the day, like, I want them to see me as Macy, the human, and I want to also see them as, the human. And that's truly what we're all here for. And that's truly what we all want. And it's time that we bring that back to the workplace, because I think that that's been forgotten. And
Yes.
why not? It's so important, and it makes
Absolutely.
everyone feel more comfortable. So
Say it
Love
louder
it.
for the people in the back. I love both of those sparkles. And like, to that end, I would love for all these wonderful people who are watching to know that anything is possible if you commit yourself to it. So whether it's living a more positive life, whether it's being like a more like bomb team player or boss or accomplishing goals, if you commit yourself to doing the work that you need to do to achieve those things, it will happen. You just need to be committed. So whether it is, like, for example, like, you need to be committed to creating systems that are going to help you accomplish goals. Once you do that, those goals will happen. If you commit yourself to practicing gratitude and slaying negativity, it will happen. So anything is possible. You just need to be committed. And the moment that you like do that, honestly, like, as this whole podcast has pretty much brought to life, doors will open, and your everyday life, your work life, just everything in general is just going to be so much better. So just commit yourself to things you believe in and to things that are going to add to your life, not take away from it.
Love it. Well, that's it. Episode number 100 in the books. Thank you all for continuing to rate and review the podcast wherever you're consuming it. And let us know what you think. Let me know what other topics you want us to cover, what you think about the show, all of that. Yeah, we really do appreciate it. Anna, Megan, or Macy, Sophia, I was so close. I had this, but no, thank you all for joining us and sharing all your experience and knowledge and positivity. I think this was a really great episode.
We're very upset you didn't dye your beard pink or put
I
glitter,
know.
but we're
For
gonna leave that be.
for the record, we did try and bribe him, and it did not work.
I know. I'm still committed though. You see, it will happen. It will happen. I'm committed to making it happen.
Can we end the episode with the sparkle gun?
John's soft smile says it all.
See everybody later.
Thanks for listening. To learn more, go to spotlightbranding.com/center stage.